Good morning, students. Okay, in our today's class, we will discuss about the notes, the question answers of life cycle chapter. So, on this page, you have to draw the diagram of parts of a flower. I will send you the diagram and you have to draw it on this page. You have to name it as parts of a flower and draw the diagram in this box. Okay, then the next question and answers. The next question is list all the parts of a flower and write what each part does. Okay, so you have to state each part of a flower and its function. What is the function of each of the part? So we have made a table here. The left column is parts of a flower and to the right we will write its functions. So the first part is the stamen. Now stamen, as I told you, that it is the male organ of a flower. It is divided into two parts known as anther and filament. So the stamen of a flower is its male part and it is further divided into two main parts, which is the anther and the filament. So now the anther, what is the function of the anther? Now anther's function is to make the pollen grains. Okay. Then next is the filament. The filament's function is to hold the anther on place. We have discussed this in our Zoom class. Okay. So the filament is like a stick which holds the anther at the top. Okay. Then the next part is the carpel, and the carpel is the female organ of the flower. Carpel is the female organ of the flower. It is made up of three parts. Like the stamen is made up of two parts, the carpel, the female organ, is made up of three parts. Now those three parts are the stigma, style and the ovary. Now the stigma is very sticky and helps to catch the pollen. The stigma is the top part of the tube and it is very sticky and it catches the pollen grains. Okay, the pollen grains get stuck to the stigma. Then the style as I told you that it is a narrow tube like structure. It holds the stigma in place. Like in the stamen, the filament holds the anther in its place. In the carpel, the style holds the stigma in its place. Okay. Then the main part is the ovary. Seeds are made in the ovary. Now we know that in the ovary there are different ova. Okay, there are many ova present in the ovary and those ova are converted to seeds. So the function of the ovary is to make seeds. Okay. Then the next part is the sepal. Now sepal protects the flower before it opens. I told you before also that before the flower opens, it is a bud and the bud has coverings of sepal. Sepal is the green colored, it is petal like structure, and when the flower is a bud first before opening, it protects the flower. Okay, the sepals protect the flower before it opens. It protects the bud. Okay. Then the next part is the petal. Petals attract the insects. As I told you that petals are very brightly colored and they attract the insects to themselves. Okay. Now the next question is what happens in pollination and fertilization. Now these two are Edexcel exam type questions. Okay. So pollination. What happens in pollination? Now in pollination, pollen grains are transferred from anther to the stigma of the same or different flower. Okay. So in pollination, what happens? The pollen grains are transferred from the anther, which is the male part of the flower. It is transferred from the anther to the female part, which is the stigma of the same or a different flower. If it occurs in the same flower, then it is called as self-pollination. And if it occurs in different flower, then it is called as cross-pollination. Okay. So in pollination, pollen grains are transferred from the anther of the flower to the stigma of the same or the other flower. Okay. Then what happens in fertilization? Now in fertilization, when a pollen grain is transferred from the anther to the stigma, the pollen grain lands on the sticky stigma. As I told you that the stigma is a little sticky, so the pollen grains get stuck to it. Okay. So the pollen grain lands on the sticky stigma. It grows a pollen tube which goes down to the style and into the ovary. So as I told you, from the diagram that the pollen grains land on the stigma, they grow there, they germinate there, and then from there they make a pollen tube through the style of the flower, and then they reach the ovary. They go down through the style, they go to the ovary, okay, and they reach into the ovary. Then the next point is, then the pollen enters the ovary and joins into the ovum. So through the style, through the pollen tube, the pollen enters the ovary and there they join the ovum. Okay. Now when the pollen enters the ovum, when it joins the ovum, this process is called as fertilization. So the whole process of fertilization can be explained as, the pollen grains stick on the stigma, they grow there on the stigma, and then they create a pollen tube through the style, and from that pollen tube they reach to the ovary, and when they reach the ovary they join the ovum. Okay, inside the ovary there is an ovum, there are different ova, so they join one of the ovum, and this whole process is called as fertilization. Okay. Now the next question is, name and explain the two types of pollination. Now as I told you that there are two types of pollinations. First one is the self-pollination and the other is the cross-pollination. So what happens in self-pollination? In self-pollination, the pollen from the anther is dropped on the stigma of the same flower to form the seed. So in self-pollination, the anther and the stigma are of the same flower. Okay, the anther, the pollen from the anther gets dropped on the stigma of the same flower and then it forms a seed. Okay, but in cross-pollination what happens? The anther and the stigma are of different flowers. Okay, so in cross-pollination, the pollens from one anther is dropped on the stigma of another flower of a different plant of the same species. Means the plant is of the same species. If one flower is of rose, then the other flower will also be of rose, but these are two different plants. Okay, so the pollens from the anther of the first rose plant will go and get transferred on the stigma of the rose flower of another plant, and then in that plant it will fertilize. Okay, so in cross pollination, the stigma and the anther are of two different flowers and two different plants, but the plants are of the same species. Okay, means they should be same plants. Rose, if there is a rose flower, then the other plant also should be rose plant only. Okay, so this means cross pollination. The difference is very simple. In self pollination, the anther and the stigma are of the same plant, the same flower, and in cross pollination, the anther and the stigma are of different flowers of different plants, but they are of the same species. Okay, then the next question is, what do you think why do you think grass flowers are not brightly colored? So why are the grass flowers not brightly colored? They are mainly pollinated, they are mainly wind pollinated and don't require bright flowers to attract insects. So grass flowers, no, they don't need to attract insects because they are not pollinated by insects. Instead of insects, they are pollinated by wind. Okay, wind carries the pollens from the anther to the stigma, so they are wind pollinated. That is why they don't need to attract the insects to pollinate them. Okay, so that is why the grass flowers are not very brightly colored. Now on the next page here, you have to draw two diagrams. In this first box, you have to draw self-pollination diagram, and in the second box, you have to draw the cross-pollination diagram. I will send you the diagrams. You just need to copy them and draw them in your notebooks. Okay. So with this, we have completed the question answers also of the life cycle chapter. Now in the next class, we will start with another chapter. Okay. Goodbye students. Thank you.